Our story kicks off in a prison, a five-star resort for the criminally inclined, where Officer Green, clearly a man of sophisticated taste, is delivering funds to our resident crime lord, Ballum. Turns out, Ballum enjoys a rather exclusive living arrangement, a private cell, personal guards, and enough luxury items to make a dictator blush. He's basically running his empire from the safest place on earth, a maximum security prison. Because, true villains appreciate irony. Fresh meat arrives, and among the new arrivals is Jack, a former officer with a rather unfortunate resume. Cop killer, bank robber. Before he can even settle into his luxury cot, Officer Green, still high on power, greets him. "Jack Stone, you put a lot of them boys in here, didn't you?" He snarls, delivering a few friendly reminders to Jack's face about the joys of prison life. Now for a delightful detour into Jack's past. A week earlier, Jack and his equally doomed buddies staged a bank robbery. Not for the money, mind you, but to gather evidence against our prison-running crime syndicate. A truly genius plan, if you ask me. "Everybody down," they shouted, only to be met by other officers who, let's be honest, were probably just annoyed their lunch break was interrupted. Jack's team became cannon fodder, leaving him as the sole survivor. He ran into a building chased by a particularly eager officer. Lo and behold, this officer was involved in Jack's wife's murder. A small world, isn't it? "I trusted you. She's dead because of you," Jack roared. The officer, clearly having a bad day, mumbled about family. Jack, ever the pragmatist, then took a swan dive off the building, with the officer as an unwitting, gravity-loving accessory. He then conveniently dropped all his juicy evidence with a reporter named Trisha, asking her to kindly deliver it to the DA. Because, of course, the system works. Back in our present hellhole, Jack's sharing a cell with Silva, a man who probably just wanted a quiet life. During lunch, Ballum's delightful cousin Salmon demands protection money, if anybody needs protection in this place. Jack, clearly not one for financial literacy, refuses. Saman and his goons attempt to rearrange Jack's face, but Jack, being the protagonist, rearranges theirs first, leading to Saman's all-expenses-paid trip to solitary. Later, Jack has a cozy chat with Ballum via security camera. Ballum, ever the charming conversationalist, warns Jack to stay out of his business. "I will make sure you die like your wife," he promises, a sentiment only a true friend would share. That night, 3 of Ballum's personal masseurs enter Jack's cell for a deep tissue massage. But Jack, being a professional, dispatches them without even waking Silva. Truly impressive. Meanwhile, Trisha, bless her heart, is actually investigating Jack's evidence. She waltzes into the DA's office, only to be told by the receptionist that the attorney is busy. Mark, the assistant, practically begs her to hand over the evidence. Trisha, wisely, decides not to hand over highly incriminating evidence to a random assistant. She waits, stalks, and ambushes Attorney Johnson, who, surprisingly, gives her his card. "You don't have to worry about Mark." Foreshadowing much? Trisha then visits Jack, who advises her to be careful. Because, as we know, caution always works in these situations. Next, Jack meets William, a middle-aged inmate who warns him about Ballum. Jack, channeling his inner daredevil, asks about Ballum's cell. William reveals it's a secret so profound, even most guards are clueless. Ah, prison security, truly a marvel. Across town, in the women's prison, a delightful catfight breaks out. Post-brawl, one of the fighters, Elena, gets an audience with Ballum. Salmon is there too, collecting illicit donations. Elena, it seems, dared to attack one of Ballum's favorite female prisoners. Ballum, being the benevolent overlord he is, announces a $100,000 reward for anyone who can eliminate Jack. Suddenly, Jack finds himself surrounded by eager entrepreneurs. Jack and William, surprisingly agile for inmates, dispatch them all. "Who are you, the friend?" Indeed. Ballum then receives a panicked call from Attorney Johnson. Trisha has evidence. Ballum, ever the problem solver, orders Johnson to silence Trisha and plans Jack's demise by end of day. Talk about a busy schedule. Later, while Jack is enjoying the prison's finest laundry facilities, a group of guards arrives, eager to claim their prize. They attempt to beat Jack with batons, but Jack, evidently a connoisseur of pain, beats them instead. He then encounters another group of eager prisoners. Jack, demonstrating unexpected financial acumen, explains the math. The reward isn't worth a fractured skull, cracked ribs, or collapsed lungs. The prisoners, surprisingly rational, walk away. Trisha, meanwhile, is spilling the beans to her friend Allison about Balaam and the corrupt officers. Because sharing is caring, especially when it involves highly dangerous criminal conspiracies. Back in the women's prison, Elena approaches Kat, Balaam's favorite, for an apology. Kat responds with a punch. Elena, clearly a method actress, pretends to pass out. The guards take her to the prison doctor. Elena then proceeds to pick her cuffs with a paperclip, because of course, pilfer meds, and sneak into the air vents, drawing a map to the CCTV room. With William's help, she finds it. Okay, Charmer, spit it out. What do you want? She returns to the medical room just in time. Simultaneously, Trisha visits Jack, asking why he killed the officer. Jack reveals the officer was involved in his wife's murder by Balaam's men. A touch of personal vendetta? How quaint. Next, Jack learns William isn't a prisoner, but an undercover officer, working for 6 months to expose Balaam. Elena, it turns out, is his evidence-gathering partner. Just as William explains this, other prisoners decide it's a good time for a spontaneous brawl. Jack is naturally thrown into solitary. William, meanwhile, gets summoned by Warden Blaine, who, having had his own run-ins with Balaam, demands more money for William's continued undercover work. Bribery. How original. Trisha tries to see Johnson again, but the receptionist is a master of deflection. Mark, the persistent assistant, keeps pushing for the evidence. Suddenly, Balaam's daughter visits, so he's temporarily released from his cell. William sees his chance and signals Elena. Elena, bless her dramatic heart, fakes fainting. A guard takes her to the medical room. Elena and William then attack the guard. Elena slips into the CCTV room, while William, in a guard uniform, heads to the control room. Elena spots Balaam leaving his visiting area. William, with impeccable timing, unlocks Jack's solitary cell. Jack, ever resourceful, knocks out a guard and takes his uniform. William and Elena then become Jack's very own GPS to Balaam's private lair. Warden Blaine and his guards realize someone's in the CCTV room. Elena, being agile, uses the vents. Knowing time is a cruel mistress, William opens all prison cell doors. Chaos ensues. Prisoners, delighted by their sudden freedom, attack guards. Officer Green tries to escape, but Jack, ever the helpful one, shoves him into the eager crowd. William and Elena fend off other prisoners. Jack nears Balaam, only to find Salmon blocking his path. A knife fight. Salmon stabs Jack, but Jack, powered by pure narrative convenience, overpowers him and finally reaches Balaam's chamber. Meanwhile, Allison, Trisha's friend, has teamed up with Attorney Johnson to kill Trisha. Just as Allison aims, Mark, the persistent assistant, steps in. Plot twist. He's an FBI agent undercover to expose Johnson's corruption. Shocking, I know. Back at the prison, William takes down Warden Blaine and other guards. Sorry, man, it's just my job. Jack finally faces Balaam. Balaam gets the upper hand because protagonists always have to struggle. As Jack lies there, he remembers his wife's murder, sparking a sudden surge of strength. He overpowers Balaam, getting his sweet, bloody revenge. A SWAT team arrives, probably after finishing their coffee break, and restores order. William introduces Jack and Elena. His boss, apparently a fan of poetic justice, appreciates their help in dismantling Balaam's network. Jack thanks them. In the aftermath, the FBI arrests all the corrupt officials. The movie ends with William taking Jack into custody, assuring him he'll be released soon. Because in this world, justice is just a temporary inconvenience. That's all for this delightfully dark tale.